on.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
We are back here at what is this? Inside the Red Room. Twin Peaks. Inside the Red Room. A hashtag show, after show. Right?
Yes.
Good way to say it.
We're going to try something new on Inside the Red Room. We are going to do pickup lines on Tinder as Disney princes. Just kidding.
It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. Or no, do pickup lines as Disney princess and then also as Cooper. See how that works.
Dude, I think Dougie would be able to get a lot of action with pickup lines.
Oh, man.
Anyway,
yeah.
Let's talk about episode 14. Well, let's understand what episode 14 was. It probably could have been the most amazing episode of Twin Peaks I have ever seen, actually.
I definitely agree. Right now, it was poignant, one way to say it. But no, really, this episode gave us a lot and still left us with questions.
Still left us with a lot.
And that's what a Lynchian show.
Thanks, Jezzer. Jezzer likes my shirt.
Of course. Can you do a pickup line with Macho Man?
Yes. Let's see. What should I say?
Do a Disney Prince pickup line as Macho Man.
Okay. You ready?
That's what I want to hear.
I'm going to do a Christoph. Right.
Okay.
How much does a giant snowman weigh? Enough to break the ice, yeah.
I love it. See, this is what you'll only get here on that hashtag show after.
McDahlia's like, these idiots. What happened to Twin Peaks? But yes, we are here to talk about episode 14. This may have been the most
electrifying episode.
I don't know how we got into these wrestling things or Disney princesses, by the way. But episode 14 had so many answers to a lot of our questions. Like Daniel said, leaving a ton more to discover.
Yeah.
We're going to start it right off with Sheriff Truman calling Twin Peaks. He's talking to Lucy. Now, I'm sorry, Sheriff Truman didn't call Twin Peaks. No. Agent Cole called Twin Peaks. This is kind of cool because this made me realize, like, man, I've been waiting 25 years for this, for like some of these moments. 23 years actually.
Yeah.
But I was super excited to see Agent Cole reintroducing himself to the city of Twin Peaks. Oh. He gets a message. He talks to Frank Truman, who he didn't know it was Harry Truman. He talks to Frank Truman, and Frank has a message saying there are two Coopers.
Yeah, that was really interesting for me. Like, to know that was a conversation that they actually got to have, and we got to see it actually happen. Like, it was just a shock. What happens now? Now that they have addressed that, like, what happens now?
I'm just happy that we now know, and the characters in the story know that there are two Agent Coopers, or two Dale Coopers. I don't say agent because they're not agents, but we have two Dale Coopers, and I'm excited for that. We also learn that we get the backstory of the Blue Rose.
Oh man!
This is Albert talking to Elsie about this, and we get the backstory, and I couldn't believe it because I love
that, like the conversation that was even had there, just giving us so much info. It gives us so much backstory on what's happening. I mean, just it's weird to say, even just the look of the set for that one moment when they're, I think we have a picture up of it, but the look of the set where he's just sitting there across from her, and behind them is the whole, like, kind of a CIA mainframe kind of thing. Like, it's just right there, the FBI mainframe sitting behind them, and it's just like, yet it's so cheesy, and what they're telling us is very X-Files-ish, but it's all like the way it's treated is based in this.
For those of you that don't know what the Blue Rose is, it is the sci-fi paranormal cases that they take. That is my mimic of. I shouldn't make fun of these guys, but I'm not even gonna call them out. But that is essentially what the Blue Rose is. We're talking about these stories that Agent Cole and his task force kind of have, and he's talking about the story, and he talks about Louise Duffy. Louise Duffy disappeared in front of their eyes, and a doppelganger appeared. And she didn't have a sister.
Yeah, didn't have a twin sister. She shoots her, and then the one that got shot looks over to the agent, whoever it was at that time, and says, I'm like a Blue Rose or something like that. And then she looks over, and when they do look over, they see who shot her, which was her. So it's a doppelganger thing. So has this happened before?
It's happened before.
But with her, and why? I want to know, what was the situation that even happened?
The theme of this episode was doppelgangers.
It was, because later, yeah, it definitely was.
We don't know what the significance of this is, but we have a good idea that they're telling the story of the Blue Rose, and that sets up the origin for the doppelganger.
Yes.
It sets up that origin quite well, actually. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, just a question. If Dougie, Cooper, and Boober finally meet and one...
Well, I don't know if Cooper is in this equation anymore.
Okay. But when they finally meet, and one kills the other, will the other one fade away? Just like...
I would assume so. My guess is this: they have a plan. The owl. We know that the owl ring opens up the plane to the Black Lodge.
Yes.
And I think that's a part of the plan. I think that obviously Booper set it up to artificially create Dougie to take his place in the Black Lodge. And once Dougie got there, fake Dougie got there, he kind of disappeared and dissipated. Yeah. But he didn't expect Cooper to come back, I think.
Yeah, that's the one thing he didn't expect, but now he is there. He knows, he's planning and plotting to get rid of him.
Exactly. Man. We get an explanation of Major Briggs in the ring. We know that there's a ring that Jane E. had, and it was lodged in Agent Briggs' body.
There's a shot of that where Albert's holding up the ring and just like, yeah, we got it, and blah, blah. And they have that conversation. That's when they reveal the whole Janie thing.
That is where we reveal the whole Janie thing.
Man! How big of a bomb was dropped?
Huge. I mean, this is the episode where we really get to lay in deep into our... I mean, this is the 13 episodes before this we start getting the payoff. Now, we don't get every payoff, and we're not expected to. We still have a few episodes left. But we're starting to get a lot, and this episode gives us a lot. We get the text... Daniel, you think that this possibly could be related to the text message in Las Vegas?
I think so. I think it definitely is, because she tells her right off the bat about the sister and says, like, oh, yeah, I have a half-sister, and she's in Vegas, married to...
We're going to get there later,
married to Dougie Jones. And once that happens, and once it's said, I was like, okay, none of them took a moment to step back and say, oh, Vegas. Like, and I think the reason is because they already knew. Once she actually gave that answer, they were like, oh, okay, this is our connection to Vegas.
I like the fact that all the stories are converging, though. We're getting to see everything tie together. North Dakota, Vegas, Twin Peaks, New York. It's all tying together.
It's all tying together now.
And I think that it's very smart with what David Lynch did. He was very smart with forward thinking of, like, he laid a lot of seeds, and a lot of people may have thought in the beginning, what's he doing? He's crazy. It's David Lynch.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, this is what he's setting up for.
Definitely.
It's smart. David Lynch is doing something very smart that you're not seeing done a lot anymore, and that's long-form storytelling episodically. Oh. Usually in television nowadays, let's take The Flash, for example. You're on that after show. The Flash is, bless you.
Thank you.
The Flash has this formula of like, okay, let's set something up,
right,
and we'll pay it off in the next episode. Let's set something up, let's pay it off in 2 episodes. It's very short term. Like right now, The Flash.
Long con.
Yeah, I mean, David Lynch set things up in the movie, which was 20 some odd years ago, and is paying it off now. You know what I mean?
Some of this in this episode.
Yeah, so that's the long form storytelling, and a show that I think executed it. I want to say the best. Now I know not yet. I don't want to say that it executed it perfectly because it had its problems, but was Lost. Lost did long form storytelling that you would watch and you would be blown away with. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but then the ending was terrible. Shut the fuck up. Because you know why? I'm just kidding. But we're going to get back to Twin Peaks while I got on my tangent about television and how shitty of a state it's in. What's the best television show on TV right now?
Daniel Diaz himself says like this episode was like the favorite.
It was his favorite.
Yeah,
it was his favorite.
I mean, it's because it was a really good episode. But as far as like TV right now, it's hard to say.
Game of Thrones for sure, right?
Yeah, I would say Game of Thrones is great. I happen to love it so much. I happen to be drinking alcohol.
Well, that's not a surprise. But the meaning of the text from Vegas, it could definitely be tied into the sisters, and I'm excited to see Jane E. meet Diane. Now, the reason I'm interested in this is because both of those actresses are amazing. Naomi Watts and why am I blanking on her name right now?
Diane?
Diane. What's the actress?
I forgot.
She's in Star Wars. She's in Jurassic Park.
But it's Diane.
God damn it!
Those two are
everybody's blanking on her name right now in the studio.
I'm sorry.
We're all
thinking we're going to be lost.
Killing us right now.
Sorry, guys. If you guys know the name,
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern, good job.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere, actually. So Laura Dern, she's an amazing actress, and I love Naomi Watts. She's great too. So I can't wait. And they don't like each other. They're estranged.
No,
they do not like each
at
other.
all.
So I mean, and Diane is foul-mouthed and says what is on her mind, and Janie is very much the same way. So I'm excited to see that collision coming up soon.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the dream that Agent Cole had with the beautiful Monica Bellucci.
You know what? Bring her up on screen. Monica Bellucci. She was beautiful.
She's a beautiful Italian goddess.
I love her from The Matrix.
She should have played Wonder Woman's mom, right?
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I agree.
Hippolyta's a blonde though,
but still, I mean, come on.
Monica Bellucci's beautiful.
Oh my God,
she's great.
Look at her there. I mean, she's beautiful.
Cole has a dream, and he says. Monica Bellucci told him that, and it says Monica Bellucci. She doesn't have a character name. It's Monica Bellucci.
Yeah.
We are like the dreamers in a dream. Who is the dreamer?
Yeah.
So, what does that mean to you?
I don't know. I just know that it was important, and it was like, I better remember this phrase forever because it's going to be important to me.
Here's my favorite part of this episode, though. That jogs. Monica Bellucci looks back, and she wants Cole to look behind him, and he does, and he sees the younger version of himself. The great thing about this is the younger version of himself from Fire Walk with Me, and he's in his FBI office in Philadelphia.
Man.
And then you see, and I knew it because I just recently rewatched the movie before the show started, and there's a great scene in there where we see Philip Jeffries, played by the brilliant David Bowie, come in, and he starts telling the story. And then you see Agent Cooper come in, and he looks at Cooper and he goes, "Do you know who this is right here?"
Dude, when he does it and he's pointing at him, if we can get that up, where he's just
chills.
Pointing at him. He's pointing at him, and that moment is so important because right there when he says it, I think on the film after he says it, they kind of like. They don't really address that he even said it.
They kind of brush it off, and it's kind of like a weird situation. He kind of leaves,
and then that's where
he disappears.
Yeah.
But then I believe Cooper runs back in because the Cooper sees all this in the film. He sees all this in a security camera.
Yeah.
And he runs in to see Cole's office. He calls Cole. He's like, and he comes running in, and that's where all this happens. And it's like, man. I want it because you have to assume that Jeffries wasn't just a red herring. It was it was something that was going to be a huge, profound, impactful character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had the untimely passing of David Bowie, which is, first of all, David Bowie's a great actor. Second of all, David Bowie is a fucking legendary musical artist.
Yes.
So for us to have lost David Bowie is a huge loss, but. He was great in Twin Peaks in the very brief moment we got him, but he set up so much.
But that whole moment, okay, now thinking about it all the way, Fire Walk with Me was a prequel to the show, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But
now, Jeffries says, "Do you know who that man is?" Pointing out that the idea of the whole doppelganger, but it hasn't happened yet. Was Jeffries somehow time traveling? Or seeing something that he saw in the future and thought it was now?
My assumption is, all right, so we're going to talk about this later on in the episode, and I think they're connected.
Okay.
I think Jeffries found the Black Lodge and had the same visions that Andy had in this episode. And I think he was sent back.
Okay.
And that's where we started getting that, because remember when Andy came back down with the woman in his head, he's like we need to take her, we need to take her back to the station. We need to protect her in a cell, she's very important. We can't tell anybody about this. I very much think this is something similar, a parallel, if you will, of what happened with Jeffries.
Oh shoot!
Because I think.
But see, the thing is, the fireman, when it comes to Andy, showed him things that have already transpired.
Right.
Why would he show Jeffries things that haven't transpired yet?
That's another thing, because I think it's possible that Andy could have been seeing. Because I think, remember the scene we see him and Lucy?
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's happened yet.
Ooh.
So where they're standing and they're walking, I was like, who is that? I don't think that's happened yet. So I think it could definitely be possible.
Okay.
That we were seeing glimpses into the future, and definitely Jeffries probably is a big part of that. The dream sequence to me though is amazing because that's the biggest callback to Twin Peaks that we've gotten, and I feel like they're calling back a lot of the film. Let's talk about Chad getting arrested now.
Yeah, well...
First of all, question I have for you. Which one of the
face.
sandwiches would you have eaten?
Okay, yeah. See,
ham and cheese,
roast
beef and cheese,
okay.
Turkey and cheese, or just cheese?
I'm going to go for ham and cheese.
See, I gotta go turkey and cheese. I'm a turkey and cheese guy. Yeah.
I need a little bit of swine in my cheese. It's like, bam. Like, when I do a really good grilled cheese, I put bacon in it. Like, and then like, oh, man. Come on, no?
Nah.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Girls, they changed me. I can't eat beef and ham now. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
We get that scene. The sheriff's finally going to the woods. Now, when the sheriff's going to the woods, this reminds me. Like Josh wants to show you something. This reminds Arby's.
Arby's.
This reminds me of when in the Twin Peaks episodes from the past when Truman, Cooper, the Doctor, and Andy would go into the woods off into their things and discover everything that was happening at the One-Eyed Jacks and stuff. Mm-hmm. So this reminded me very much of that. So and I felt that vibe too. Sheriff finally gets into the woods and we get to the point of the map what Briggs is talking about, which is the listening station. Bobby describes everything that he remembers from the listening station as a child. There's a lot of machines and all that stuff. They stumble upon a woman. Now this is they were there at what are called the rabbit.
Jackrabbits Palace.
Jackrabbits Palace.
What that little tree stump is.
Right. They stumble upon a naked woman, and her eyes are kind of like not sewn shut, but they're like they're messed up. But we know that this is the woman from the what?
The Mauve World.
The Mauve World.
That's what everyone's calling it online, so that's why we're embracing it.
What are the chances that this is?
I think we have a picture.
What are the chances that this is?
The very first one.
What are the chances that this is Josie Packard from the Mauve?
I don't know, and she hasn't aged. But like, what's happening?
It's probably not though. I feel like they would. I feel like at least Andy would know that it was Josie.
No,
Packard.
but that would be a great way because I don't think the actress is coming back. So
she's not coming back.
A great way to do it is bring her back, show up the eyes, so now you can't really tell who it is, and all you have is just a mouth thing. You're like, sure, it's Josie Packard.
I don't think it's her though, but I think it's a nice.
Well, what happened to her body? I mean,
she got trapped into a doorknob.
She got transfigured into a doorknob, but it's kind of like, is that her soul that's in a doorknob? And if so, what happened to her body? Is her body there? Is there a separation?
So you see,
I don't know.
We see her naked. Andy kind of clenches her hand. Yeah. You think that she's passing? You thought?
I thought at one moment.
I know, and you played it back, and it kind of does look like it.
But it's definitely not what's happening.
Right.
But I thought maybe she passed something to Andy in the hand. If you guys take a moment to watch it, it looks like the way he grabs her hand and pulls his hands out of hers. It looks like, okay, hey, here's her hand, and I'm taking something out of it.
It did look like that.
But that wasn't the case.
We get to see the ground kind of like, I don't know what it does.
I know.
This looks like the entrance to the Black Lodge.
But it looks like a little tree stump, and it looks like the Garbanzola or whatever is inside of it. It looks like a little tree stump with like yellow inside in the circle.
Well, a portal does open.
Yeah, but definitely above their heads, a portal does open. Cue that.
Very reminiscent of when Agent Cole was looking up at the sky and it was kind of opening. A little reminiscent to me. We get to see, and this is interesting because I looked at this and I saw, why is Andy the one? Why is the camera fixated on Andy?
Yeah,
because he would have been
once you said it,
he would have been my least likely choice to go into that world, and I think that's kind of why I like that. It's because Andy's not necessarily involved with the Blue Rose cases of Twin Peaks.
Right.
So I think it was a super interesting choice for Andy.
Oh, definitely.
For them to put Andy in there. But Andy gets there, and it looks like he's back into the theater that we saw in episode 8, I believe.
Yeah, that would be it.
And we see the giant, and he sits down, and he calls himself the Fireman.
Yeah.
And
which we know that's been said before, but yeah.
But here's the thing. Fire, walk with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
But we see him holding this. I don't know if it's a lamp or if it's some kind of candle.
It just popped into Andy's hand.
It popped into his hand, and the smoke forms up around him and above his head. And then he looks up and he sees visions.
Like a viewing screen.
And this is very reminiscent of episode 8 also, where we see kind of like the history of everything was formed with the woodsman and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And we do get another appearance of the woodsman.
We got a whole...
light.
There's a whole setup for everything that shows.
Yes.
Check notes.
Oh, everything that shows. Let's check the notes.
Going one by one.
We're going to go to the portal opens above. We see a fireman and gives Andy something. Andy is shown Mother, At the convenience store.
Yeah, so the first thing we see is Mother kind of, spitting out the things that has Bob
and everything
inside
on
of it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing we see. And it's just Mother floating in her kind of weird figure kind of thing, spitting out that stuff. That's the first thing we see. And that's something that we knew what was going on.
Next thing we see the convenience store.
Next we see the convenience store with the woodsman standing right in front of it. And then from there...
Well, let's talk about. I mean, that's cool. It's a cool scene that we got the woodsman at the convenience store, but we do get the actual woodsman at that point, and he says,
the next shot is boom, the actual woodsman,
and he says,
"Got a light."
He
just again. So
I actually thought, no joke. Okay, I was driving. I remember where I was driving. It was right before I left to Orlando, but I was driving somewhere, and I saw a guy on the street, and he looked just like the woodsman. And honestly,
say that stuff. That stuff is freaky.
Honestly,
I have had nightmares.
My windows were rolled down because we're in Southern California. It's been hot lately.
No.
My windows were rolled down, and I could have swore if he would have come up to me and was like, "Got a light," I would have freaked out. I would have freaked out.
I would have been, dude. Like his face is just something of nightmares. It's just scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So we are getting, like you said, the history. We start off with we didn't get the nuclear explosion.
No, we didn't.
We did get Mother.
We got power lines.
We bringing Bob into the reality. Then we got, like you said,
the convenience store, the woodsman.
The woodsman. Then we got the actual woodsman.
Nope.
Then
there, power lines.
The power lines.
That's very important, though.
Okay.
The power lines are from, they're from this season and Fire Walk with Me, where it's, I can't remember the name of the character, but it's played by the guy that, what is his name? I'm gonna find him right now, so you guys will know who I'm talking about. He's like the guy at the trailer park.
That saw the kid get hit and him.
Yeah, what do you know his name?
I forgot his name. He was part of like some freaking Howling Commandos or something at one time. I remember.
Howling Commandos. He actually is in the Avengers movie. It's a true story, actually.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, we did see him. Well, we didn't see him, but we saw the power lines. Why is that important though?
Well, because we see the power lines when he's in the film Fire Walk with Me, because he looks up at the power lines.
Okay.
Carl. His name's Carl.
Okay.
He looks up at the power lines because I feel that he can see things that other people can't.
Okay.
So he sees he sees energy. And I think energy is a big part of this. And when he sees the energy, because he saw it in Fire Walk with Me,
right?
And he also saw it this season when the little boy gets hit. Remember, he just keeps looking up.
And then he sees that yellow kind of thing,
he becomes.
I guess if they say we're all energy doesn't go away. Energy isn't created. Energy isn't destroyed. Energy always is.
Right. That's part of what we see there.
Yeah.
Then after that, we see the girl crying and running. I think that's a part of our Fire Walk with Me in the high school.
That's from Fire Walk with Me, yeah. But I was like, why do we?
I believe that's Donna, actually.
Oh God, that is it.
I think that's Donna. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that could be Donna.
Okay.
A character who we have yet
to see.
Yeah. And I don't think we're going to, because Laura Flynn Boyle didn't come back.
Yeah.
Neither did Moira Kelly, who played her in the movie. She didn't even come back for Fire Walk with Me, though. Laura Flynn Boyle. So chances are she's probably not coming back to this.
Okay.
But Moira Kelly didn't come back either. She's not back at least yet.
Nah.
There's that girl running. We also see a picture of Laura Palmer with two angels on the side.
Yeah.
We see the Mauve World.
We see the Mauve World girl.
Yeah, Mauve World girl. We also see Agent Cooper and then splinter off
into Cooper
Bad
and
Cooper,
Boober.
Mr. Cooper.
And that, I think, is very important because they just found out about the whole copy of and that there's, we haven't given them the name yet and let them know it's Doppelganger, but we've shown that there are two. So that's very important. Keep going, because then I have something to say after that. Because that's very important, showing that we can see Cooper and Booper. He's getting it all. He's getting so much information in just simple images.
Right.
And yet, Andy, who, usually people think is a simpleton, is able to understand all of this because, we see what happens at the end. But keep going. As far as the images.
There's two more images we get. We get a blinking phone.
Yeah, I guess it's just what's happening in the office. But I wonder if
I don't think that.
Okay, so what's the deal with the blinking phone?
I think that's the log lady calling, because it was always the lines blinking.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You were on it, man.
Yeah.
You were on it today.
Last week I was totally off. This week I'm okay.
All right.
And then I think we see a image of Andy with Lucy. Now, both of those last two images that we saw, I think are glimpses into the future somewhat.
Okay. All right.
But the blinking lights, I definitely think it has to do with the log lady, because she subtly kind of knows what's going on. Right. It's like her log is actually connected to the Black Lodge.
Yeah, it definitely is, because it sees and knows things that other people don't, and it points out everything that he just learned. It pointed out.
Oh, that's not the final images. We also see the Mauve World girl with the electric pole. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like the Mauve World girl again.
Electric pole with the number 6. And did you notice him? Did you notice what happened though?
What?
So we got 3 images of posts. One, I think, was from episode 8.
Okay, yeah.
Where we saw the post. It was 6.
Right.
The other one was Fire Walk With Me, 6.
6. And
the other one was current season, 6. 666.
Number of man.
Right. So that was very interesting.
Okay.
I think that's something to take note of. But I got to look back and see what numbers the Giant said in the beginning and the very first episode.
Shoot, I forgot.
Because he does say something, yeah.
We pointed that out. We had that whole thing put together, too.
Yeah.
I forgot what happened.
But interesting thing happens. We get back to our real world. We're back at the Jackrabbit Palace. Now, here's what's interesting about that scene, is that we see Wolf, Truman, and Bobby all kind of moving around, but they're moving around like the woodsmen.
Yeah,
like the woods
that
people.
was okay. That was
and then we see Andy, and they all start to solidify and they become real. But that was interesting to me because I got to, it was almost like symbolism with the Black Lodge people in the convenience store and everything that happened at Jackrabbits Palace.
Oh,
it felt very similar to that.
I can understand that.
So maybe
what's the purpose?
I don't know. It's a part of the storytelling. I have to watch it again to really see. The hardest part about doing a show like Twin Peaks is that you got to watch it once.
There's so many
and then you got to watch it a second time to really get it. But
yeah,
I think it has something to do with it's metaphorical with the convenience store and the sheriffs. I think. And the police office. I think that there's something there, but I don't quite know what it is yet.
I mean, would you say that when you say the convenience store and the sheriff's department or the sheriff's office, is it also woodsman versus or connected with? Or
I think it's possible the woodsman could be the law, in a way. Not necessarily of the Black Lodge, but maybe of balance. They could be the law of balance, making sure that like one doesn't run supreme over the other. Like our world doesn't run supreme over the Black Lodge. Listen, I'm talking so many crazy things right now, and if this happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's a theory I have.
Okay.
Because it just seems like very parallel to me. We get to see them all back at the Jackrabbits Palace. They all kind of formulate or take solid formation, and Andy has the Mauve World girl in his arms, and everybody kind of is like back, and he says she is very important.
Yeah,
people want to kill her. We need to protect her and put her in a cell, and we can't tell anybody about this. And Truman's just like, okay,
yeah, like they say okay, and then but. You kind of wonder, why would he be so okay with it?
Because
he didn't even ask, and then they give us that answer as to why later. He didn't even ask, well, where were you? Where did you go to? Blah, blah. They didn't ask that because immediately right after, when he says okay, and Andy walks off, he says, so what happened to us?
Yeah, nobody remembers.
And I don't know.
Nobody remembers.
And the thing is, the answer is, they don't know because something weird happened. And it's just, I don't know, but yet they experienced it. They know that they did. Yeah. So that's really going to help.
But Bobby had this look on his face like, what are we doing? It was more, I think Bobby's look on his face was more like, what, not like I don't know what happened, but like what's going on. And I think there's a little bit of difference there. So we got to see what happens with Bobby. We see Jimmy and Freddie. They reveal it's Jimmy's birthday and Freddie's origin of the glove. It's not Jimmy, by the way. It's James. James from...
yeah, but he kept calling him Jimmy,
of course.
Yeah, but it's James.
But James is a security guard now.
Yeah.
And Freddie is a new guy, and we want to know about the green glove. We wanted to know about the green glove. So talk to me about the green glove and the vortex and all that crap.
The green glove, so he gives a whole story. Tells us immediately right there, okay, I'm in London and blah, 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 yada, yada, etc., etc. And then while he's in London, he has he stumbles upon the vortex. So apparently there's a vortex there also, because we know that there are vortexes around the world where the power of the Black Lodge kind of solidifies, and that's where it all meets or converges. So there in London, vortex opens up, he gets sucked into it, and immediately he's there in front of the fireman.
Right.
Or at least he sees a giant. He said it himself, I see a giant, but he calls himself the fireman. So he sees a fireman, and that fireman, his accent wasn't even that nice. It was kind of trashy.
Yeah, it was very hard.
It was kind of trashy.
It was very... Yeah, it was very
yeah, right. But like Jason Statham, but drunk. Like,
it's like Cockney, very like...
It was. So, but he says that, he sees the fireman, and he tells him that... essentially, go here, get this rubber glove. Your right hand is going to have the power of a jackhammer, and you're going to find a package.
Man, imagine if your right hand had the power of a jackhammer, how fast you'd masturbate.
That's all I was thinking of. I was thinking, man, if I just turn it on like that,
so
like that meme or that video of that guy where he's like, oh, blah, 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 and it starts going like that. And he's like, oh, he turned on the jack off function. But
sorry,
yeah,
cut you off there.
But so then had the power of his right hand had the power of the jackhammer. He tells the story that he goes ahead and gets the glove. He wasn't able to take it off because when he tried to, it was just bleeding. His hand was bleeding or whatever like that.
So the glove's permanent.
Yeah, the glove's permanent, and as long as he has it on, he has that strength or whatever, because he knew for sure when he pretty much stole it, even though he left money there for the idiot guy at the counter. He runs off, and the guy comes to talk to him, and when the guy comes to talk to him, he's like, oh yeah, you're going to learn today, because of one of those punches.
Breaks his jaw.
Dude breaks it, not only his jaw, his neck. He said he broke the guy's neck. And I was like, oh, are you serious? With just that one punch. And that's when he knew, okay, this whatever the vision was true. He goes back, and he goes back to the vortex one more time, sees the fireman. Fireman tells him, your destiny lies over there in Twin Peaks. You got to fly over to Twin Peaks. But
he had a ticket waiting for him.
Exactly. That was the thing. When he went to go buy one, a ticket was already waiting for him. So the fireman has a reason for him to be in Twin Peaks.
Jeffries bought the ticket.
And, well, could it be?
I think so.
I don't know. But the thing is, nonetheless, the woodsman has a reason for him to be there.
Yes.
And he chose to listen to the woodsman, but now we don't know exactly what it is yet. But we know his destiny lies here in Twin Peaks.
Yes. Now we get...
That was cool. But also the thing that kind of messed up, too, and I saw it in James' face, where it was like, I've been in Twin Peaks my entire life, and I haven't been... delivered my destiny, and
his destiny was to sing that song last week. Just you.
Well, because he sung it 20 years ago, and now he sung it again.
And he still has that high ass voice when he's singing it.
Yeah, it's so weird. But so
just you.
So he wanted that.
And I. Isn't that how pretty much that went?
That's exactly how it went. Oh my god! If somebody can just pull that one moment and play that over and over for me.
Just you. It's gonna be a meme now.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want that. I want that forever. The rest of my life.
But it's not a fun scene, but it just shows that James actually is doing something on the show. We only get Big Ed last week. That's so crazy to me. Cut to Sarah Palmer. She's walking down the street. We see her go to her favorite local bar.
Oh my gosh.
And a guy starts aggressively hitting on her that looks like Larry the Cable Guy with a ponytail.
It says tuck you.
It does say truck you.
Truck you.
Truck you. He starts becoming a womanizer, and he kind of says this kind of misogynistic just stuff. I hate when women get treated like this. Yeah. I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
But regardless, I understand it's for storytelling purposes, but he's very misogynistic, and he got what was coming to him. We see Sarah Palmer stand up. She takes off her fucking face.
Oh my god, if we can show that. Because underneath, I don't know, I need somebody...
What if that song played? That would have been amazing.
I need someone to kind of decipher the images, because I'm trying to still understand exactly what it was. But yeah, she takes off her freaking face, and underneath was darkness, and then still there was one hand, and it was a white hand. We got to say it that way. It was a white hand with the ring finger was black.
Yeah.
I don't understand what was going on there, but could that mean Laura Palmer was think about it this way: Laura Palmer married to the devil. Darkness, evil.
Sarah Palmer,
black,
you mean?
Sarah Palmer married to the devil because her husband was
Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to say because I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because when we see Harry Leland, not Harry Leland, who's Harry Leland? Harry Leland's from the Hellfire Club. Yeah. We see Leland Palmer talk about middle finger. So
dang, so no, that throws out
we see, yeah, all right. So we see him talk about how he used to see a man in the summers that looked like Bob. So I don't think that would be the case, but I definitely think once the infection of Bob came into Leland, that somehow the residual, or we always got Bob and Mike, and maybe Mike is a part of Sarah Palmer now.
Well, but Mike is good. Mike's the one-armed man.
Well, he wasn't though. Remember they used to help each other kill and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe even Mike has a doppelganger, and that stayed inside of Sarah. I don't know. Maybe it's suppressed. Who knows? But there was also an interesting line that she says a couple weeks ago was that the men are coming.
She did say the men are coming. She also said on that same episode something was in the kitchen.
Yeah. So you had a great theory about this, that you think that possibly has to tie to that. Ties to that.
It could be. I'm thinking, like, could that be exactly what was in the kitchen? Whatever is now inside of her? And then the next image there was, like, a smile?
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't understand what's going on. If anyone kind of can figure or decipher those images for us, we'd love it. We'll show them to you. We already are. But trying to figure out exactly what it was or why it was there, I don't get. And I would love to know because I know it's so important. And I don't want to be the last to know or figure it out.
Well, she takes a chunk out of his neck and says she'd eat him.
Dude, and you saw the chunk taken out of his neck? Oh my gosh, if we can put that up because it was horrible. Oh,
or glorious.
Like she goes for him, and then after that, boom, he's sitting there, and it's just like a big. Why? But she did say, "I'll eat you."
Karma.
She did say, "I'll eat you."
I mean, he got what he deserved.
Yeah, I guess.
But I'm really curious to see what's. You know what this could be too. The arm that's infected her.
Oh shit!
Because the arm was trying to get out also, and we know that the arm was, there's a good arm and a bad one. So maybe this is the infestation. The infestation of the arm. So that's a possibility.
That's a good point.
We also, so that ends that. Pretty much the bar owner's like, "Did you do anything?" It's like, and she pretty much is kind of like, "Yeah, I guess we'll see." She's pretty badass about it. It's like, I didn't do anything.
Oh my God, what is this? I don't know. He fell.
Nobody blames elderly ladies for shit.
But do you believe that she didn't? Like she didn't know that happened?
If that lady would have told me that and I was in that bar, I probably would have believed her.
We know that she's like the town crazy.
But
I would not believe
But
her.
we don't know that. I'm just saying.
I thought the town knows she's the town crazy.
No, she was only crazy in a couple scenes. She's not like eccentrically crazy. Right. She drinks a lot, yeah. But I wouldn't have assumed that.
Okay, all right, fine.
Maybe that's just me. Maybe I see the best in people. I'm changing already.
I am changing for the worse.
I'm changing already. Anyway,
changing.
We get to see another reference to Billy. Billy boy. You know where that's from?
No, that's from It.
Yeah, that's from It. Coming out soon.
We all float down there.
Billy boy. That's from It. But we get to see another reference of Billy. Now we always see these conversations happen with characters that don't really matter. I mean, it's almost like we're getting. Maybe it's our insight into the other characters that are in Twin Peaks that just like town gossip is what I'm saying.
It could be.
It could definitely be that. We know that Billy is the estranged lover of Audrey Horne. Yeah. But this is a pretty intense story that he tells. So talk to us about that.
Well, I mean, she tells the story that, okay, Billy was enraged. I saw him, like, somehow shoot through our fence and come straight for my door. Come straight for, like, you know, the rear door. You know, in some houses, this is Americana, so that means they have that sliding door that's right in the backyard. He was coming for that, and she could see him coming through the window, and she knew that he could see her too. He's coming, he's gunning for her, and he gets in. She didn't say if he broke the glass or anything like that, but she just, and I think that's the reason why she said it that way, which is something weird, but she said, yeah, he sees me, and he's coming for it, and I close the door, and he comes inside, and I was like, wait, but did you open it? Did you break in? Did you hold it? He's just inside. That's the next bit of his story. So he's inside the house.
You know what it sounds like to me?
What?
Bob.
I'm wondering.
So could Billy be Boober?
Oh my God.
because maybe that's
said the
how.
whole thing about Audrey Horne.
Right.
Remember? Oh my gosh! Explain the Audrey Horne thing.
So the Audrey Horne thing,
Okay.
there is a God. I don't remember which one of you guys said it that are watching the show, but one of you guys had the fan theory that what's the kid? Richard Horne is the son of Evil Cooper and Audrey Horne.
Yeah.
Now we didn't know, and we didn't know what the status for her was. That she could have been raped after the explosion that happened, and she was in a coma.
That's right.
And that's how she had Richard. But maybe, just maybe.
Well, they did confirm that Booper, before disappearing for a while, he showed up there
In the hospital, yes.
and went to see her, and no one else was in the room, and he went to see her for a while.
Could
and then
Billy
left.
be Booper? That's the
wonder.
question now.
I wonder, because they said that there was, and he explains there was blood all over the kitchen and everything like that, and then he left, and that's when he disappeared, and her and her mother were cleaning it up, just cleaning up all the blood and everything, and then after that, that's when they say, well, later we know that Audrey is looking for Billy.
Right.
She has that conversation with Charlie over and over and over, so he could be Billy, but that girl said her mother's name was like Trina or something like that. And I'm like, so
Tina.
that's Tina. So her mother. So if we know that they were talking about that Billy, who is Audrey Horne's extramarital lover. So with that being the case, Tina, I'm still trying to figure out who exactly is Tina.
The Dreamer.
Really?
No, I don't know.
What? I was like, what? I was like, so exactly who is Tina, and why is she so important?
Tina is an unknown character that we don't know who she is yet.
Yeah, and we are now finding more and more situational like stories concerning Billy.
Right.
So, and that wouldn't be a bad idea, seeing that maybe Billy is indeed, well, Boober.
Right, but then who's Tina?
I don't know.
See, that's the thing. That's what we got to find out. We don't know. We don't know these answers yet.
I love how when we were watching for this episode, every time we asked a question, they would do it. They would either answer it or ask the same question.
Yeah.
When I was like, "Wait, who is your mom?" And then she said, and then literally it goes to that scene, and she says,
What's your mom's
name again?" I was like, "Oh my god, are they listening to us?" Like
Hey,
while they're doing
honestly,
it?
this is just like last week when I was talking about arm wrestling.
Oh my
and then
god!
there
And
is-
then literally the arm wrestling happens.
Maybe I'm psychic. Maybe psychics. We do get to know that insane story about all the blood in the kitchen. That's kind of where we cut off. We get our musical cue here.
Yeah,
A little
we know
softer
what's
of a
ending.
song this week. What song would you have chosen for the end of this?
Nine Inch Nails, Bite the Hand That Feeds.
Really?
It's just because of the biting on the neck. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Jalen didn't like that scene on the biting in the neck. My song I probably would have chosen was
He didn't.
A
Disgusting,
Whole
he
New World. Because we got to see a whole new world. Get it?
Oh, bravo.
Tying, you're going to be in the Disney show later, tying it in, getting you ready for that.
Whatever.
But anyways, that's going to do it for our episode of Twin Peaks. I feel like we covered a lot. I want to hear what you guys have to say in the questions and comments. Please share this video out. Hit that like button if you liked what we say. If you didn't like what we said, then Daniel will sing some more for you.
Yeah, I will.
Just you. You can do that song.
I can't even do that. Just you.
That's how it is.
And I don't know.
But that's going to do it for us. And I really enjoyed this episode. And right now, I want to rewatch it. So
Yeah, I am.
that's going to do it for us right here at that hashtag show. Daniel, what episode? What?
I don't know. Where can
Am
you
I
guys
saying?
find me? on
Not where can we
social
find you. What show can we watch you on next?
Oh, well, I'm actually making a special appearance on our Disney Bippity Boppity News. So you'll see that later this week? Or
Friday.
Later, well, next week, Friday.
What are you
or
talking
whatever. Oh, man, I don't really know for sure. And that's the fun part about it. I'm going to run and gun with this bad boy. But Jasmine will kind of tell me.
You're also
tell
on
me
Hench
where
and
to
Hangout
go.
on Friday, right?
I am on Hench and Hangout.
Not this Friday,
Not
though.
this Friday, though, unfortunately. Took a detour. But you'll see me on Hench and Hangout, and a new show coming up.
Ryan's
called Quest
Ninja
for,
Steel Thomas
Clarity.
wants to see you dance, by the way.
Oh, man, trust me.
Super chat and you'll get to see it.
Yeah, super chat, and I will. I'll put it down, man. Trust me. You'll love it.
Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at Battlestar Galactica. Usually that's on every bit of social media. And also see my...
Dude, Larry Newbill's in the house. I just want to say hi to Larry.
God, you keep interrupting me. What's going on? I don't do that to you.
You do.
Quest for Player 2. Check me out there. It's a new geek dating advice show that we'll have. It's going to be great. I kind of, flex my advisory muscle.
Let's put it to the test right now. You ready?
All right.
Put you on the spot.
Okay.
Let's say there's a guy that meets a girl.
Okay.
That they don't live in the same city. Just kidding. Let's move on with this.
Well, does he tell her that he has 3 questions for her?
Oh, that was the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah? Okay, that can happen.
What kind of guy has 3 questions for a girl and he gets rejected on the first one and goes for the second 2? Listen,
I don't know.
bro, you're batting 0%. You're going to keep batting 0%.
You're going to keep batting 0. Yeah, you got to know how to adjust it, change up the game.
You can find me right here live every Saturday on the Ranger Wrap-Up. You can also find me on Monday. Tomorrow, guess what? Tune in tomorrow. If you're a Disney fan, if you're a Disney fan, check us out tomorrow. We got some big Disney news for you. And you can also watch me over on Screen Rant on social media. I am at that hashtag Joe on Twitter and Instagram. And actually, you can find me there on Facebook as well. But that's going to do it for us right here live on Inside the Red Room. We're going to exit the Black Lodge now, but thanks for watching and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.